I'm Jenn Rice, and I wanted to pop in here today. I had been looking forward to today I'm kind of taking this a little bit on a bit of a personal note because I think it can be helpful, I'm hoping, to other people out there. So I made an appointment over a month ago, I think, with a functional medicine doctor. Now, this is going to be a little bit different than like your traditional primary care office. The appointment length time is something like 2 hours long. I thought they made a mistake when they told me that because I don't think I've ever sat with a healthcare provider for 2 hours, just for general counseling. So anyway, I went today and I was really blown away by the whole process at which they run things in a functional medicine office. And there were some really great things that came out of me going. I mean, certainly more insight because I've been a Western trained healthcare provider. So I started out as a paramedic. I went to PA school. I've been doing dermatology most of the last 12 years. I do a lot of writing of prescription drugs. I do a lot of Western medicine. We see where the if you will, like the hole in the dam is, and we plug things in it and we try to just keep the dam from flowing over. We don't do a lot about making things better so that the dam doesn't leak anymore, if that makes sense. So I really gained some great insight from her, and I'm going to share that a little bit more on some other live videos. But today I wanted to share her story as a physician who was in Western medicine. She practiced as a geriatrician, so she basically took care of older patients. And she then went on to care for people in hospice, and hospice is end-of-life care. And what she was seeing was, she described to me that, all through medical school, she was told, like, supplements aren't really necessary, they're a waste of money, people just get their nutrients from food, that pharmaceuticals are pretty much the answer to everything. And so when she was practicing as a geriatrician, she said that she noticed the amount of medicine that many people were on, just lots of medicine. Like, we call that polypharmacy. So when people are on multiple medicines that can often interact, that can cause their own issues. And then she noticed when she went to hospice care that as those patients, because they were considered terminal, a lot of times the physicians will begin to pull away medicines so that, because they're not maybe necessary for the length of time the patient is going to be still here. So she noticed health improvement actually in the hospice patients as they were removing these medications. And that prompted her to go back to school and learn, like they used to call it integrative medicine, functional medicine. It kind of goes that way. So she went back and decided to really focus on that. And today, that's pretty much what she's doing because she's very passionate about it. And this brings me back to this whole question of working within what you're passionate about and what you feel good about can make a big difference. She started to feel a lot of, she kind of described it as just a not good feeling of how she was taking care of patients with lots and lots of medicine and not really making anybody better, just sort of putting, as she quoted, a Band-Aid on it. So that caused her own internal stress, and many of us can relate to this who are, whether you're, in any, I think, career. Certainly healthcare is one, and one that I'm just, very intimate with. But if you're in a career where there is, there are other things going on around you that are sometimes very difficult for you to maybe get 100% on board with, or it's just not jiving right with you, I guess is all I can, say about it, then it might, and what I learned from her is it's never too late to kind of flip what you're doing. And so before any live I do, I like to go on really the internet, and I like to look up, I was reading about sequelae of lack of fulfillment in work, sequelae of not living your passion, and actually every article I found, you guys, was about living your passion is really not good advice. It sets people up for failure. I mean, there were all these things that I thought, wow, like these are the articles out here that you really shouldn't be doing what you believe in your heart, that, you should, find out how to love the work you're in. Okay, like I get that part, that we could certainly begin to lean more into our work and bring in these other things, but sometimes that's just not even possible. So I don't think it's a bad idea to take your skills in a different direction like she did, and clearly this probably maybe sidetracked her for a bit, but now she's doing something every day that she feels really good about. And I don't think that anybody who is older and looking back in their, in the past, I don't think they would say that you should stay someplace you're unhappy and you should stay someplace that makes you miserable because the money was there. I get that everybody has responsibilities, and you know in your heart where that is. But I just thought it was so refreshing today to, be seen by someone who went ahead and kind of stepped out of probably what was already a good deal, as far as like the work, in order to do something that she could get more, just more into every day of the week. And so I can really appreciate that. I don't know if any of you guys have already kind of done that. I know that this is often a reason why people start secondary businesses, because they're trying to get closer to their passions, or away from something that's maybe not, hitting them right in all directions like they hoped it would be. One of the biggest sequelae that her and I talked about today of, jobs where you do have a great deal of stress. And, obviously people have to be air traffic controllers, and, somebody has to drive the truck across country, and someone has to take care of the patient who comes in the ER. I'm not saying that we have to eliminate all stress from our lives and all just lay around on the couch and, eat bonbons or something, but that stress comes with a consequence. And oftentimes it's our health or some part of our health. And it maybe doesn't come right away, but it can come over time. So we just want to make sure that we're doing the things and trying to take care of ourselves, and making sure while we're busy doing all these other things that we are at least putting ourselves on the calendar and taking that time out. So I just kind of wanted to share that part today. And I have other things from her because, like I said, we spent a lot of time together that I think would be cool to put out here. And if you guys have ever been to a functional medicine practice or already do that kind of thing, supplements, one thing that was funny she mentioned is she would have these patients that were like, I don't know, 101, 102. And she said they'd come in with these supplements that were like, they were like gallons of supplements. And I mean, there's still going to be this part of me that is very resistant and thinking that that is not necessarily helpful, but I do think that everything is about balance. And so I just love learning new things from people, certainly people that have studied way more about this. So if you guys have any thing you want to show me in the comments about success that you've had, not necessarily naming out any certain plans or supplements, but if you've visited someone that is in this functional medicine field, if you are in that field, I know there's I think she was telling me there's functional medicine dentists now that are coming out I don't know if we have one in our town, she said you have to look online. I did meet a pediatric provider who was all more holistic functional. So I think it's it's an evolving field for sure. And I hope you guys found this of some value today, and that your Wednesday is going well. And thanks so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, I did just kind of kick up a business page, Jenn Rice International, here on Facebook, and I have my website. It's at the final stages. I'm going to be launching it. I keep tweaking it because it's not exactly where I want it, but that's another video probably. But thanks so much for watching today. You guys take care.